So imagine you love Minecraft. You've always wanted to go camping, but you know you're not going to have the opportunity to do that anytime that soon. So you have an idea. I mean, Minecraft is a game where you can basically do anything. So why not? Right, so obviously real life is real life, Minecraft is Minecraft. I mean, there are some limitations here, but like for the most part, this is totally doable. And I'm not just talking like placing a bed down and sleeping in it. Like you do it all the time in Minecraft. That's not camping. I mean, an actual camping trip, basically sort of simulated in the way that like I'm setting up the way you would in real life and preparing the way you would in real life. And for that, I need to do a little bit of research. The first thing you need to pick is a location. So in Minecraft's case, a biome. Most foresty camp-filling biome to me is definitely old growth taiga. And there's literally one right next to my base, like a couple hundred blocks. Next, I need to pick equipment to go camping with. And for that, I found an article on Medium, which had pretty much everything you could think of. Like beyond essentials, like they have mixing bowl and Bluetooth speakers. Like these are camping luxuries. But it got the job done, and I just decided to trim it down and only include the stuff I would be including. And I also think I added a few things that weren't on the list, but yeah. Upon completing the list, this actually ended up including the Bluetooth speakers. So, Mr. Motel, sorry for the say it earlier, I guess. Now I need to translate the items on the list into items that are actually in Minecraft, which shouldn't be too hard. I'm just gonna write it on a book in Corel. So I need to do that. I needed to do that. I already did it. This already happened. Yeah. And that just left getting the items themselves, actually. For the things like the tent or the foldable chair, I have pre-made designs ready. Because obviously there's no tent item or foldable chair in Minecraft. If the sun tent was great, I'll sing a great high. So I've gotten myself the wool I needed and pretty much everything else, but I still need pale oak. I may not technically need it, I could be building this with anything, but I made designs and I'm sticking with them. A quick look at chunk base shows that there would be a pale garden Paris, but I've already loaded that spot of the world, so I have to travel way further out. It was a bit of a bummer, but at the same time, it was another good adventure.
Where do we find ourselves? I've looked on the highest shelves in books, in rooms around this place. Where do we find the well? that never-ending well from which we draw our final face. And what if we never fall? What if we never fall down? Can we live a life never knowing that feeling of hitting the ground? Oh, let me run, let me feel, let me fall. Oh, let me waste another day. Give me time just to play with it all. Oh, 'cause I don't know the way. Where do we find our plan? Our map of uncharted land for which we each set sail to find over the shift.
This is my first time actually. This is my first time actually at a PAL garden. It was really cool. Actually, I haven't been on the latest versions at all recently because of the mods I use in these videos. Usually are like an update behind or so because of the new drop system. So, I mean, it's kind of annoying, but at the same time, not that bad. I mean, you get the right way.
Oh, let me waste another day. Give me time just to play with it all. Oh, 'cause I don't know the way.
With the PAL acquired, that means it's pretty much time to pack up and go. Once I finish setting up camp, I have 7 days and 4 objectives to complete. There was going to be one for each day actually, but honestly I was struggling to come up with ideas after like the second challenge I came up with, so yeah, there's only 4. Hopefully that won't be too easy. We'll see. And hurry on the Old World Taiga. I'm gonna go deeper in it for Maxo campsite because I've been here a lot and I've cut down a lot of the trees. So yeah, I'm gonna go somewhere more undisturbed by mankind. Well, exclusively me in this case. But yeah. Alright, this seems like a pretty nice spot. There's a river nearby, which will be good for one of the challenges. It's also literally one of the few open areas in this entire forest. Like, without cutting down trees, I think this is the best it's gonna get. So I guess I'll go ahead and start building stuff. $11 logs left. That is not enough to even just finish the floor. Trapdoors are pretty expensive, and I don't think I really thought about that when I was getting the amount of wood I got. But yeah, I'm gonna go to the base and get a bunch more because I don't want the same things to happen and I have to go back again. So yeah. I do not have enough. Whoa. Not even close. I literally use like all my white woe. I got like 64. I don't know why that would be enough. 32 white woe. 32 gray woe. It was small in my head. But it's not that small. And yeah, I felt even sillier because I already went back to get wood. I didn't have enough for that. And I sort of thought about it and got it back and also got a woe. And I kind of did think about it, but I didn't want it to be true. And now I have to go back again. I sort of thought about this. Alright, the tent is finished. It's really not a tent, it's like a tent inspired. Like, you could not pack this. This would not fit in anyone's backpack. I don't care about sorcery or folding. It's not happening. So I'm gonna go ahead and hopefully quickly do the other stuff in the camp. This won't take nearly as long as this did. The entire camp is now finished. And tomorrow the trip will begin with the challenges. I'm really pretty happy with this. The Shura especially, it's not like incredible, but I felt like I had to think about outside the box with making the Shura be the way it is and also using Power Oak. I mean, maybe not the best design, but also someone's probably done something like this before, but I'm pretty happy with it. Well, it's the first day, and I mean, I bet you want to do one of the first challenges. And I don't want to waste so much time talking, actually, because I do want to get started. So, the first challenge, the first goal, is to befriend local wildfire. That could be anything really, and work would spawn around her. But I mean, pigs. I don't know how you befriend one technically. I might like put in a hole, drop it. Is that befriending it? Probably not. Probably doesn't count. I'm gonna say my plan is to catch a fox. This hopefully won't be too hard. Right, I just came to a realization. One, two, three. That's literally all the bread I left. Was just the food I successfully packed for the trip. And if you're wondering why it went out so quickly, it's because I kept having to go back and fought for all of this stuff I forgot to get. I mean, I really did this myself, and I would go back and get more, but that goes against the spirit of the challenge. Like, I tried to about that earlier when I was going back, and like, I got more food. But let's have the sweet berries, so gonna have to keep looking for some foxes. There's a wolf here. Don't have any bones though. I'm pretty committed to getting a fox. I mean, the wolf is just my bonding choice, right? Okay, so it's occurred to me. I have no idea where I am or how to get home. I have had horrible luck with the foxes, and as of now, the sun is setting. This means mobs are gonna be spawning everywhere. So I think I'm gonna go up that tree and stay there for the entire night. This sucks because not only am I losing time, but that's gonna be extremely boring. Like really, really boring. I'm not too concerned about being lost. Just cause I don't know, like, it can be that hard. I mean, hopefully not. Hopefully I'm not that lost. I don't think I went that far and still in the taiga. I can't see anything from the trees, but I mean, even if it was in this area, I don't know if I would see it from her. And it probably isn't, to be fair. I'm just gonna have to stay up top this place. Right, okay, I was going to go down, actually started going down, but then I changed my mind because if the skeleton suits me while I'm up there, I'm dead, pretty much. And I think that would have to count as me just failing this entire trip entirely. I mean, if I want to sort of simulate a real-life camping trip, if you die, you die. You don't get to respawn. So I'm gonna play it safe and stay here for the rest of the night. To make matters even worse, my Spotify is playing the saddest song. Basically, it's basically like this. I'm not playing the actual song because copyright.
Said I'm caught in the water, broken and still, feel nothing at all, but pain in the
You know what? This is boring as heck, and I think I'll survive. There's a small chance the skeleton will swoop me down, and then I would die. But if I get down there, I'm outrunning the mob with ease. There's no way. It's just gonna go down. I then basically spend the rest of the night running and avoiding mobs, and I actually eventually found my home because of a tree that was barely cut. I guess past me needed some wood and was too lazy to cut the entire thing down. Things past me for being lazy and not cutting down the entire tree. It is now day 2, and I did not complete the first objective. like I was hoping to, so there's no time to waste. Alright, I have both boxes. I'm gonna sort of dump one away. So, if I bleed the two boxes, there's another baby in there. This is kind of annoying, but it'll be too much for this here. I guess I'll just leave it, and I think this is the right one. If it isn't, this would be tragic, but I'm pretty sure I got the right one, so yeah. And I just need to take him home, and honestly, I don't know where home is, but I'll work it out. It is clear to say I'm without a doubt lost again. So I'm going to tunnel in the ground for the night. Because I could outrun the mobs last time I got lost. But if I'm dragging this fox mode, that won't be happening, so I'm gonna have to wait all night long for help this time. I guess luckily I do have a fox, you know, it's not as lonely. I have my friend, my befriended, well, I guess more like a hostage technically. With time came the next day, and lucky for me, overnight the fox grew up. So as you can imagine, I was pretty happy, and I went to remove the lead from the fox. I remove the lead, and it runs away. It is not the white fox. Oh yeah, not to mention loss. On the third day, with 0 goals completed and lost, I was naturally feeling pretty demoralized. But what do you know? That tree, that burly chopped tree, I encountered once more, and it helps me find my way home. I basically spent all of day tree. Actually, no, I literally spent all of day trying to find my way home. And by the time I did, it was nighttime. And I figured I wasn't going to be able to work towards any of the goals with lots of monsters, so I slept, meaning it was day 4, and I knew I had no time to waste. So I went looking for a fox, only this time in a different direction. I'm so relieved to have finally finished the befriending a wildlife goal. Now it's time for the next goal. This one might take a bit of time as well, not because it's difficult, just because it's tedious. And that is because the next goal is to catch a treasure fishing item. Which, I mean, the odds aren't horrible for that, so I'm gonna stop. Who knows, I may be the first one. You never know. Honestly, this is actually, like, it's a good treasure fishing item. I haven't enchanted the bow. And this bow has power. It has hunts. Like, this is a pretty decent bow. Let me put these down here. Oh yeah, and I have plenty of fish. So, like, I'm sorted for food at this point. I mean, it was already fine with the sweet berry business, but this is way better. So, yeah. The next goal was to preserve nature, and I interpreted that as taking samples of nature, around the biome. Anyway, I need service, so I'm collecting resources to do that. It is now the morning of day 7. This is kind of crazy. I've already collected all the nature I need. And that means I have one goal left. And I think time is going to be an issue here. It's more about what am I going to do for this last challenge. Because this last challenge is specifically building a landmark, and I'm really not so much about, I don't have time to do anything too crazy. And as I'm gathering the blocks for the landmark, I want to say this entire video making process has been terrific. Like, I don't think I've ever had this much fun on single player Minecraft and doing these challenges. And it's been an absolute, like, as far as creating and compelling video goes, it was like handed right to me for what happened in this shit. But yeah. And with everything taken care of, I have my newly befriended fox and headed on my way back home.